Hey guys, so I just want to go in here and go over my month of March as full-time pressure washing. March was my second month um, being full-time. So if you ain't been following the channel, I quit my job of 10 years and planned to start this business for about a year before I pulled the trigger. And I quit my job and took about a month off to spend time with the family over the holidays and whatnot. And then in January, I bought my truck and started to build my rig. And then I started February 1st, straight into it full time. I never even washed a house until probably mid-February. It was my first time ever washing a house. I did my driveway before I started February 1st, and so that was basically my only prior experience. So it's not really ideal in a way to start like that, because you pretty much need to know what you're doing before you start doing it to somebody's house. But that's why I get insurance. So but if you just want to get into it slowly, that's probably the best way, is to just buy a pressure washer and then a few little other things that you need, and start becoming a weekend warrior, as they call it. Just doing jobs here and there on the weekend, and then grow it from there. But I didn't want to go down that path, so I wanted to go big or go home, basically. And because having a full-time job and a family, I didn't want to add on to that. So it wasn't just about making some extra money for me. I was ready for a career change. And I'd worked 10 years Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 basically. And I was good at my job, and I liked my job, I guess. But I mean, who really likes their job? It was a job. So but it wasn't horrible. It was a lot of self-managing and stuff like that, and a lot of troubleshooting. And so that's two things that I consider myself to be pretty good at, and probably because of that job that I had. So, but I wanted a career change. My company I worked for got bought out, and I didn't like the way things was changing with it, and I felt like I was kind of tapped out on as far as pay scale went. And also I didn't see myself moving up in that company. So I came across pressure washing on YouTube, and I dove in deep. Did a lot of research for a few months, and then I started planning my business. And then finally figured out everything, how I wanted everything to work as far as starting, and all the financial aspects of everything. And starting in February was pretty good, because it's kind of a slow month. I'm in Alabama, so we got decent weather all year compared to some people up north and whatnot that can only work 8-9 months out of the year. But January and February is probably the two slowest months, I imagine, for anybody in pressure washing. But I figured starting in February would be good, just to get my feet wet. And every job I did was basically learning something new. So, and February went okay, so I didn't really have no expectations because I didn't know. So, but I had a goal for where I want to be at the end of 3 months, and I almost hit that in March. So, that is good. So, because I didn't know if this thing would work or not, honestly. So I've now found out that there's a pretty good bit of people in my area that are pressure washing full time. So, and one of them that I look up to a lot is Scott Lett with Iron City Power Washing, and he's got him and another guy doing it full time, 2 people, 2 trucks, and they are killing it in this area. So they do a lot of commercial stuff and they do a lot of residential stuff. But if he can do it, then I can do it. And that's not saying I'm as good as him as far as selling, marketing, anything like that. It's just saying that it's possible in my area. So, if you're in I don't even know what area, but some random place in the middle of like Montana or something, and you don't have a whole lot of people live around there. Nobody has concrete driveways. Everybody's in brick houses and stuff like that. It might not work out great being full time pressure washing, but in my area there is a possibility for it to work, and that's something that I wasn't sure. I could drive around. I can see dirty driveways. I can see dirty siding on houses. I can see dirty roofs. Every restaurant, fast food place I went to, I can see where there's opportunity and potential for it, but I just wasn't sure going into it. So I didn't really know I didn't really have expectations. But February, I did 8 jobs. Didn't make much money. I didn't pay myself in February, and I didn't pay myself in March. That was kind of planned, but I plan to start paying myself in April, and because I feel like April's going to be a pretty good month. It's already starting off pretty good, so I'm excited about that. But back to March. Let me flip the camera around and show you my little calendar thing. Alright, so this is the same little thing I did for February. It just makes it easier. And I got a little cheat sheet that I wrote down of what job number 9 was and where it came from, just so I can remember, because looking at numbers, I ain't gonna remember what job that was. So job number 9, if you've been following along with the channel, was the metal roof wash and house wash. And I was excited about that job because it was basically my first roof, and I did not know how it was going to come out, but it came out amazing. And that was up until that point, I think that was my highest ticket. Oh, actually, that was my second highest ticket up until that point. But I gave her a good deal on the roof wash because I didn't know if it was going to work or not, because I never did one before. But she found me off of a yard sign, and that was my first call on a yard sign, I believe. And I put that at a stop sign at an intersection in the city that I live in. And I don't have too many yard signs around here. But I only had probably 20 yard signs put out for February and March. I only ordered 25, but I didn't know if they was going to work or not, because I probably wouldn't ever call anybody off a yard sign, but they seem to be working. So older retired people seem to be the customers that are calling off yard signs. I've had a couple that are younger, but most of them, I say 4 out of 5 are older and retired. So yard signs is working. So I ordered 100 more that I got in the other day. And so I'll be hitting the ground running with yard signs too. So that job turned out great. She found me off yard sign, and she called one of these days. I went by and checked it out, gave her a quote because she lives in my area and was close by. And then we agreed on price, and then did the job that day. Turned out great. The next day, I had the house wash that was hardy board, and that was my first time washing a hardy board house. And while I was doing this job, is when she called me, and she called me from a yard sign that I had in Pelham, which is about 30 minutes up the road. And so that was awesome. That day I was doing a job that I got a call from yard sign, and then I got another call while I was there from a yard sign. And so I went up there, did that job. Turned out great. And then I got a call. Patio. So one day up here, I got a call for a yard sign, I believe, from a yard sign in Alabaster, which is about 20-25 minutes away from here. And there was a Walmart at in a major city, not a major city, but a big city. And behind that Walmart is a road that looks like it's going in the middle of nowhere. But if you look at it on Google Maps, there are hundreds of big houses in different subdivisions and gated communities and all that back down that road. And there's basically one road going in and out of that area. So I placed a yard sign back behind that Walmart at an intersection, and that's where this guy called from. He seen my yard sign. So I went out there that day and did the patio and washed his house. And he was an awesome guy. Gave him a bunch of cars and everything. And then the next job was those 3 dormers on top of that house. That was right down the road from my house. So one of my jobs that I did in February for my neighbor, my first house wash, this was actually his mom and dad. And they just wanted the dormers on top of their house washed. They was vinyl, and then the rest of the house was brick. So it was really just those 3 little dormers, and then I charged her $30 a piece for those, and it was $120. So that's the cheapest that I've quoted so far. But I mean, it was really hardly nothing. It was 3 little dormers, and it took 30 minutes. So $120, and I got $40 tip on that, which has been my biggest tip so far, and it was my cheapest thing. So I mean, I was in and out of their place in 30 minutes. And I also gained a customer. So that's one thing is, you get excited about giving a quote, and then when they accept it, you got the job. You got a job. But then your job is to get a customer. So after you get a job, your job is to get a customer. And so that means you have to show up on time. You got to, communicate well with them. You got to do an amazing job for them. Send them before and after pictures, everything, and turn them into a customer. So that's the way I look at it. After every job, if it goes smooth and great, I gained a customer. And after 2 months, I've done 21 jobs, and so that's 21 customers. And that's going to pay off in the long run as far as business. So they might not call me for the rest of the year, but I'll also might get referrals from customers. But I will also be contacting them the next year. That's 21 people that I have their contact info, and that they know that I do good quality work because they've used me already. You don't have to really prove yourself to them now. And if anything comes up where they need pressure washing, they got a guy. So, and at the end of the year, when the Christmas time rolls around, I'll be sending every single one of my customers a Christmas card. Just saying, hey, so and so, hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thanks, Jesse. And then, it's just something kind of random that they're probably not expecting to get in the mail as a handwritten personal Christmas card. And then when March, April, February, whatever rolls around, and I start going through my list of customers, jobs I did last year, when I call them up, say, hey, this is Jesse with Cunningham Clean. I was just reaching out to see if there's anything you wanted to get done. If you want you want to get your house washed again, your driveway washed again, whatever job I did for them. They're like, oh yeah, I remember, I got a Christmas card from you a while back or something, but gaining the customer. I mean, if only half of them, wanted another job or something the next year, that's 10 that you don't have to work as hard for, as far as marketing and your, how much it costs for you to get that customer. Once you get it one time, as long as you do a good job, you should keep that customer, in my opinion. So, anyways, back to the job. So that was the Dormers, and that was off of a referral, basically. And then job number 13 was the dirty concrete in Jemison. That was right down the road from me, and she found me on a Facebook group. And then she found me on a Facebook group. That's how I got that one. And I went out there, I think either Thursday or Friday afternoon, and quoted it, and then that was the day that worked out for them best. And this job here was the big driveway in Helena. It was about 30 minutes away. And that was my first time doing a big driveway, and it was pretty tough. I think I underbid it a little bit compared to some of the other driveways that I've quoted since then, but that's how you learn. So if you underbid something, yeah, you get the job, but you learn that that wasn't the right price for me. So it was the right price for the customer, but it wasn't the right price for me. So that's something you just learn as you go. And she actually messaged me off of a Facebook ad. So that was one of my times that Facebook ad worked. That gave me a good return, basically. And let's see. So, and then this, we went on a trip from this day to this day. And then I had already had 1 or 2 jobs scheduled for the next week. And then while I was on that trip, I had another 1 or 2 come in. So I was pretty excited this time because, February was pretty slow, hit and miss. But, here it seemed like, I got the ball rolling pretty good. And then when I got back, I had this job scheduled, and that was a house wash in Trustville. So that was about an hour away from me. And she found me on a Facebook group. And I actually did 2 jobs that day. I did this job that afternoon. So I messed up on that, but I did the house wash that morning, and then that afternoon I went to Hoover and I did those 2 small driveways in those townhouses. And then the townhouses, so job 16 was the 2 driveways in the townhouse, and he called me from when he seen my truck doing this driveway here, because that was on the same exact road. And he seen my truck that afternoon, and I guess took a picture of it or wrote it down, my phone number or something. and he actually called me, I believe, this day when I was out of town. And so I got him down and did that job that afternoon. And then this job here was the double wide mobile home that was super dirty. And she found me on Facebook, and we have a lot of mutual friends that actually went to school with her brother and are friends with her brother. And then the next job was 18. So this one was a house wash that a guy called me. I believe he called me when I was on vacation too. I think I remember that. And he was the neighbor of this guy. So the guy that called from yard sign that lives in those nice subdivision back behind the Alabaster Walmart. This guy seen me doing his neighbor's house, and he called me, wanted me to do his. So that one turned out great. Also, and jobs like that, you know, they they cost you nothing to get, So that's something good. So just having my truck, having all the stuff done on it, paid off this month twice. So from he seen my truck doing his neighbor's house, and then the guy with two driveways seen my truck doing this driveway. So like I said, on your vehicle, have who you are, what you do, and how to get in touch with you. It pays off. And then so after that job, it slowed up. I didn't have anything planned on the books for the next week, and you just gotta keep at it. And then job 19 was, so then I got a call from Yard Sign in Helena, kind of the same area as this one was, and he actually called me from a yard sign that I put out by leaving a restaurant. I think it's Longhorn Steakhouse or Texas Roadhouse, one of those two in Alabaster. And so it wasn't even that close to him that he seen that the yard sign was. But he contacted me and wanted me to come out and do his driveway. And that was a pretty big driveway, but it turned out great. And then while I was there, he said, "Hey, my neighbor texted me and she wanted you to come by and give her a quote." So after I got done, I went over there and seen her. And then this was the other driveway that I did the following Monday. And that one turned out great. And then, so this one here was from a yard sign in Alabaster. So they seen my yard sign. And then this was the gutters and the house wash. Cleaning out the gutters and doing the house wash. And so that one came out from yard sign too that they seen. So I wrote it down. So for 12 jobs in March, 1 came from a Facebook ad, 3 came from Facebook group, 5 came from yard signs, 1 came from a referral, which was that one, and then 3 came from neighbors of people seeing me do jobs, basically. So, yard sign seems to work. Referrals are going to happen if you do good work. And then when people see your truck and what you're doing, that's going to get you jobs also. Hitting Facebook groups don't cost you nothing. Just try not to be as spammy as possible. And then Facebook ads, I've been trying to figure them out still. So what's up, guys? So as I was making this video, I realized it had cut off with a few minutes left, so I'm just going to kind of add in what is left. But for March, had a pretty good month, like I said, for being my second month going into the same full-time from the start. It's starting to grow. I'm starting to learn what marketing things are working. I'm starting to get better at the jobs I'm doing, and It's just a learning process. But as far as making money, you also have expenses. So for gas, I spent I think $580 for the month, um, and I had originally budgeted $500, but that was before gas went up. And I just I didn't know, so I just put $125 a week basically for gas whenever I was coming up with my budget for um, planning my business. So and expenses and stuff like that changes. So chemical, I had to fill up my 55-gallon drum twice this month, and I get it from place, and I think it's like 250, 260 a gallon or something. So I spent about 280 on chemical for the month. Um, and then I got my Marquette app, which is $40 a month. Then phone bills, $50 a month. Um, what else? Insurance is 60 a month, and I guess that is it. Because like I said, I didn't pay myself for March. I plan to start paying myself um, yesterday actually, first week in April. So from now on, I should be paying myself. I wanted to build my bank account back up a little bit um, for the as far as the business bank account, just because I wanted to have enough money in there in case I have some slow weeks and I can still pay myself the full amount that I want to. And if something breaks, and I want to be able to have the money in the business account to do whatever I need to, and not have to go to my personal account. So um, I'm only a one man show, but I want to keep it. I want to keep business and personal as separate as possible, just because it will make my life easier. So, but look forward to April. So I just finished my first week in April, and already by far my best week. Um, and did 4 jobs in 3 days, and was close to $1,500. So if I can do that every week, then this will be a pretty nice business here for me. So we will see y'all later, though.